Hi, Cutie Pies. It is Lanickia, and I am coming to you with another episode of General Hospital. Um, so, this was more like a filler episode because it was a Monday episode, and they just bringing you back from the week to get you all caught up and to let you know what's happening so that they can take you through the week until they leave us with another cliffhanger on Friday and not come back to that cliffhanger on the Monday. Anyways, so as always, I'm going to do the characters as um, least to most interested, or at least that I was most interested in. So I'm just gonna. We start off by seeing Olivia, Ned, and Ava, and I do love me some Ava, but and I think this is an important scene just for parents and just a teachable scene in general. And it's all about Leo, who we see is on the spectrum. He's autistic. And so it was just a conversation about Olivia, who felt like I should have seen it, I should have known, and just getting reassured that, you're doing everything you can now. Ned has been awesome. He's helping. And Ava's there to help as well. So even though she's feeling guilty, it's okay. You're getting him the help that he needs, and making his, you're doing everything you can to make his life as normal, as possible. So it's a good scene and everything. It's just on a list of all everything. It just wasn't my most. I just wasn't that interested in it, but it's still an important scene, and I understand why they put that in there, and it's always good to bring it up. Okay, so then we see so Nicholas and his son Spencer are talking, right? And this whole thing is about like Nicholas not forgiving Spencer because of the way he treated Ava, and Spencer being like, you always choose her over me, like you constantly choose her over your kid. And I'm like, well, kind of, you're his kid, but you're not his kid, like you're not a child. But I get it. He's like, I want you to show some affections towards me, show some loyalty towards me being your son and everything. So I get it what he wants, but you know, I understand what he's wanting, but I also, I see Nicholas' point of view somewhat, like he has to hold him accountable. But I also feel like Nicholas has done a lot. Like even going back in the day, Nicholas was always one of those borderline good people, even when he was with Emily and that whole thing was going on. So I mean, it is what it is. He was never my favorite character, and he's still really not. But I get it. I get what he's trying to say, but like he's not like the moral person to be saying these things, I feel. But I get it. So they just come to the conclusion that he's like, listen, Uncle Victor is providing me protection. I'm gonna be riding with him. I'm gonna go with the person who's providing me protection while I'm in this prison and everything. And he was like, you should be here with me because Victor said so. I mean, excuse me. Spencer said something out of line about, the way he talked about Ava, and Nicholas was like, "You shouldn't be talking about any woman like that." And then, they brought up about how Nicholas, so what we could try to get a woman. I believe he said killed. We can do that, but and then I don't know. It's just a mess. They're not gonna be dad and son anytime soon. So it is what it is. So then we go to Esme meets with Laura, and she's late, and how there is bad people on the soap, because y'all know. People might think Nina is bad, but I like Nina. Esme is one that I just don't like. There's something snotty and snooty and snobbish about her that I just don't like. Like, she plays her character very well. As an actress, she does a great job, because I don't like her character. Because you know how some characters, they're bad, but you still like them, or you still are, you love to hate them. She is not one of them. Like, I just don't like her. But she meets with Laura, and Laura just lays down the law like, girl, you have got to get yourself together. Like, you cannot go around, being late, disrespecting my house. Like, and she was like, the only person that helped was the nanny. Like, that's the only person she have, and the nanny moves on. Y'all think they're gonna bring the nanny in some kind of way? I don't know, but she said the nanny moves on because that's what nannies do. Or, she said the only person she has in her life is Spencer. And so Laura was just talking to her, how, mature woman to the younger woman. She was just talking to her about, like, you have to be open and making friends. Like, you can't treat people badly or whatever, and your life can't be all about Spencer. That's it. And Esme was like, okay, I'm gonna go and make amends, make men fences. Is this girl serious? I don't know. I doubt it. Like, I seriously doubt it. But we're gonna see how long this lasts. So she leaves Laura and everything, and so then we see that she goes and meets with Trina and Joss. But before she does that, we see Trina and Joss talking. I like Joss. So she was telling Trina, like, girl, because they were talking and everything, and she was like, oh, Spencer gave me a present, and she kept going on about, okay, so, but it was my favorite artist, and then he had his grandmother deliver it, and all, like, he's in prison and doing this. And Joss was like, this man has a whole girlfriend. This, he is in a committed relationship and everything. He should not be giving you these type of thoughtful gifts. That's something that you give your girlfriend. That's your fiance, your wife. That's a committed relationship gift. And she was like, well, we're just friends. And Josh was just like, girl, you are not a side piece. Stop letting him treat you like you're going to be a side piece, or you are. And Trina was like, whoa. But I get what Josh is saying or whatever. If he wants to be with you, then he needs to break up with Esme and focus on you. You can't be with Esme and then do these romantic gestures towards Trina. That's wrong. And I felt Joss on that. I was like, okay, cool. I understood where she was coming from. So then Esme shows up, right? And she's apologetic. She says, I want to mend fences. And she says, you have to understand, Spencer is all I have. I don't have friends. I don't have family. He is all I have. So I was territorial. And I was like, nobody can be around him because, if he's gone, then I have no one. And they understood. Well, Trina understood. Josh did not. And so Josh is one of the friends that you cannot tell, because if she has an enemy, don't give her ammunition, because she went and told Esme about Spencer giving Trina a gift. Like, if you're not my friend, if you're gonna do that, like, don't get your revenge on this girl or throw a dig at her by causing me harm, because at the end of the day, she's not gonna be mad at Josh, she's gonna be mad at Trina, and Trina had nothing to do with this. But anyways, that was that, and we're gonna come back tomorrow probably with, or one of the days in the week, with a follow-up from that. Okay, so then we see Dante, Drew, and Anna, right? They're finding out where Maxie is or whatever. Unfortunately, they found this information out, and the person that they've told works for Victor, and he's going to let him know, because Victor cannot have people knowing. He doesn't, like, they suspect it, but they cannot prove that he actually helped Peter, and he does not want them knowing that he helped Peter. So there's that. But anyways, they're gonna let him know. They're sitting here telling the information, and then they're on the way. They do too much talking in this. Like, we're gonna do this. Okay, this is might be what happened. Like, get on the move. Because if you had got on the move, Maxie, who is dealing with Peter, you might have got there faster. So speaking of that, let's go to Maxie and Peter. So Maxie and Peter are at this at the house or whatever. And she pretty much telling him, he said, oh, you didn't let that last long. She said, no, you should have known. I just wanted to make sure my family was safe and away from you. I'm not going to do this with you. Like, no. And so she told him to be truthful. And he was like, you lied to me about, like, she did one lie about getting you away from the child. Louise. She did one lie, like, stop it. But he pretty much told her, she pretty much told him, and they both come to an agreement that if Nathan was still alive, there's no way she would have been with him. Like, she did that out of just being depressed. And that's pretty much what she was telling him. You're not the man that Nathan was, and you never will be, and you knew that. And she was just like, you didn't tell me the real truth of who you are, because I would have never been with you, and I was depressed, and that's the only reason that I was with you in the first place. I get it. I get it. And for someone to tell you that, like, she looking you dead in your eye, telling you, I do not want you, and you still want her, like, I don't, yeah, sir, you are crazy. And anyway, so Maxie ends up kicking him and put him on the ground or whatever, and she runs out, and she's trying to find her way. She's trying to find her way out of this mess, and she's looking at the stars, trying to find her way out. We see that a car runs up on her, but I don't think it's a car to help, because in the next episode we see where she's saying, "You want me, Peter? Come get me." Now, as Maxie is leaving out the door, Peter is talking about, "I'll never let you go, sir." How you gonna have her if she don't want you? She doesn't. This girl is running from you. She lied to you just to get away from y'all's child, and now she is running away from you. Like, why do you want her? Move on. But you can't talk to crazy. So then, Anna, Drew, and Dante have made it to the house where Peter and them were, and they see someone moving around. And once again, they are outside holding guns, talking about when the moon hits this way, we're gonna go in. I can't. But anyways, y'all, that was General Hospital. It was just nothing but a little filler Monday episode to set you up for what's gonna go down this week. I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.